It's gonna be a
Other
crazy
users
video.
report near-death experiences,
Chat, we're gonna learn some stuff today.
profound insights, and mythical encounters with spiritual beings. The drug appears to shake the very foundations of human perception.
It is one of the most weird and unexpected things a person can go through.
We're talking about dimethyltryptamine, or DMT. In its pure synthetic form, it looks like an inconspicuous crystalline powder.
It's a very simple molecule.
And yet, DMT has been puzzling scientists around the globe for more than a century. The substance has been used in indigenous cultures for thousands of years. It occurs naturally in plants, animals, and even in the human body. But when it interacts with our brain, things seem to go completely off the rails.
This is cool.
Many users say
Look at
DMT
that.
fundamentally changed their lives. And yet, other experiences suggest there's more to DMT than profound revelations, mystical encounters, and
What is
medical
that?
promise. For some people, the substance can also open doors to the darkest corners of their consciousness. This is the enduring mystery of DMT.
The enduring mystery of DMT. Huh. Chapter 1, Deep in the Jungle.
November 1852.
Huh.
This is British botanist Richard
18
Spruce.
1852, chat. That was a while ago, dude. In the jungle, too. The enduring mystery of 6-7. That's funny as fuck. I'm not gonna lie. Bruh. Okay, that's pretty
The past
funny.
3 years, he's been making his way through the Amazon rainforest to study plants. He's particularly interested in mosses. Along the way, he keeps encountering indigenous communities living deep in the jungle. He learns their languages and studies their customs. Right now, Spruce is staying with an indigenous group in what is now northwestern Brazil. Today is a special occasion. The tribe is about to hold a spiritual ceremony.
So, chat, this dude's he's in the Amazon jungle, right? Or like the Amazon with a tribe, and he's trying to experiment on plants. Is he experimenting on plants to like make the DMT? Is that what he was experiencing to make that DMT, chat? Or what? Because, dude, how did tribes come up with this? Like back in
At the
1852,
center
you
of it
know?
all
Like, that's insane.
is this ritual brew. Its key ingredient is a specific type of liana. Indigenous people have been drinking or chewing it for thousands of years. Some groups call it napa, others bako, or pinde. This group calls it kapi. And tonight, Spruce is going to try it himself.
What?
He watches several young members of the community drink the mixture before him. He notes that, for about 10 minutes, they appear to be possessed with reckless fury. Then they calm down and simply continue dancing. Then it's his turn. But the tribe didn't just prepare kapi for him.
I had scarcely dispatched 1 cup of the nauseous beverage when the ruler of the feast came up with a woman bearing a large calabash of mandioca beer called kashiri.
After that, protocol demands that he top things off with a cigar and a cup of palm wine. Spruce has to
A cigar and palm wine? Chat, what is palm wine? I've never heard of that. Do you guys know what that is? That's
fight off the
insane.
urge to vomit
What?
and stretches out in a hammock.
A hammock?
The kapi is slowly kicking in.
Whoa.
He later notes in his journal that white men taking
There's-
kapi all seem to report the same experience.
They feel
So-
alternations of cold and heat, fear and boldness. The sight is disturbed, and visions pass rapidly before the eyes, wherein everything
What?
gorgeous and magnificent they have heard or read of seems combined, and presently the scene changes to things uncouth and horrible.
Hey, this
So-
is Jonas, one of the founders.
Chat, it makes you it makes your mind think, like it takes you to so when you take it, it takes your mind to like a deeper conscious of like a dark deep place in your mind, chat. Is that what it does basically? Maggie, what's up? What's up? What's up? So that's basically what it does, because he's like hallucinating, right? Or doing something to him, chat. So I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
It's
You.
not just psychedelics
I'm chilling,
that
I'm
can
chilling.
shape our minds. Our thoughts and emotions are molded by relationships, opportunities, but also uncertainty and major life events. For many in our team, pressures often come as deadlines piling up. It's not always dramatic, but over time it can become serious. That's why we encourage our team and viewers to seek support if needed. Some choose to talk to a friend, a colleague, or a professional.
Or grass. He samples a couple of those vines, dries them, and has them shipped to England.
Shipped
Over
to
the following
England?
years,
Whoa.
Spruce keeps traveling to South America and repeatedly comes across Capi. One of these encounters takes place in
That's good, that's
1857 among an indigenous group in Peru. They also use the vine to prepare a powerful brew. They mix it with other plants and call it ayahuasca. Spruce apparently doesn't drink it himself
Ayahuasca?
this time. Instead, he asks the locals to describe their experiences to him. To Spruce, the brew remains an unsolved mystery.
This is insane.
He simply
chat.
can't figure out which particular substances cause these extreme effects. He's already familiar with opium and cannabis, but Capi seems to be much more potent. What he doesn't realize is that he's been looking in the wrong place. The plant he sent back to Europe isn't the key ingredient. Technically, it's not the liana or Banisterium capi that produces the intoxicating effect. The real trigger is a special compound found in the leaves mixed into the brew. DMT, more precisely, N-DMT. Its molecular structure is surprisingly simple compared to other psychedelics. Its complete name is N-dimethyltryptamine, but we'll simply refer to it as DMT throughout this video.
Okay. DMT.
German-Canadian chemist Richard Mansk was the first to synthesize the substance in the early 1930s.
1930s. That's insane. Bro, what have you done? Add me on Discord. Oh, I haven't had time to add on Discord, and I just and I just haven't had time yet, bro. But my fault.
Had no idea of its extraordinary psychoactive effects. At its core, DMT is characterized by a nitrogen atom bonded to two methyl groups, hence the name dimethyl. A methyl group consists of one carbon atom bonded to three hydrogen atoms. It's one of the simplest building blocks in organic chemistry. The nitrogen atom is connected via a short carbon chain to the most important part of the molecular structure, the so-called indole ring.
What?
The same structural feature can also be found in other known psychedelics like LSD or psilocybin, and within the molecular structure of serotonin. Serotonin is a neurotransmitter, a molecule that carries chemical messages or signals between nerve cells. It plays a key role in some of our most
No, I
essential
can't add you now. I'm streaming right now, bro. I don't think, bro. I think we just gotta like. I don't usually add people on Discord, you know, but like, sorry, bro. I don't mean to like be disrespectful, but yeah, I just don't. Yeah.
Functions, from mood, sleep, digestion, and nausea, to wound healing and sexual desire. Because of their structural similarity, psychedelics like DMT can bind to the same receptors usually used by serotonin.
They're like key locks, and drugs are like specific keys that act on specific key locks. And so these classic psychedelic drugs, with which DMT is one of them, act on specific key locks in the brain, and specifically these serotonin receptors in the brain.
This is Chris Timmerman.
So it like unlocks like. Wait, am I confused? So it unlocks like chat. It unlocks like a key or to like a path in your mind is basically what he's saying, right? Cause like I don't even like know, you know?
He's a neuroscientist and one of the world's leading researchers on DMT. He spends much of his time traveling for research, so we're lucky enough to catch him on a video call. It's likely that DMT was also the main active compound in the brew that Spruce encountered back in the jungle. Today, that mixture is widely known as ayahuasca.
Okay.
To produce
That's
it,
ayahuasca.
you mainly need two ingredients. The first one consists of plants that contain
On
DMT.
Instagram. I usually don't add people on Instagram. I just like Instagram's like where I just do my thing, you know. But I appreciate you like wanting to like
They grow across
support my
large parts
channel,
of the
bro.
Amazon basin, though not exclusively there. The second ingredient is the Capi liana, documented by Spruce. It doesn't contain DMT itself, but it is crucial for making the DMT in the brew psychoactive. Mixing and boiling the two together produces the psychedelic plant drink known as ayahuasca. Psychedelics are generally considered physiologically safe and non-addictive. That's one of the key differences between them and drugs like cocaine or amphetamines. Those primarily act as stimulants.
Whoa. What?
They artificially increase dopamine and neuroepinephrine levels in the brain and strongly activate our reward system. Psychedelics, on the other hand, alter perception itself. Users may see or hear things that aren't there, hallucinate, and lose their sense of time and space. Some report life-changing experiences. In many ways, psychedelic substances seem to fundamentally alter how we think and feel, which is precisely why DMT continues to fascinate scientists to this day.
In terms of the psychological impact of the experiences, in terms of the subjective effects it generates, it is one of the most weird and unexpected things a person can go through.
What the? Chapter 2. High in Switzerland? Switzerland? What? Chat, I've actually...
April 19th, 1943, a bike path near Basel in Switzerland.
Whoa.
This is Swiss chemist Albert Hofmann. He works as a researcher for a Swiss pharmaceutical company. Riding next to him is his lab assistant. He explicitly asked her to come along. He's desperately trying to get home.
Okay.
Earlier that day, he started conducting an experiment on himself. He dissolved 250 grams of lysergic acid, diethylamide, in water and ingested it. He had synthesized the compound in the lab after isolating it from the ergot fungus. And right now, he's feeling a bit under the weather.
Everything in my field of vision wavered and was distorted
What
as
the
if seen
hell?
in a curved mirror.
So, chat, he was testing this thing on him, and it, like, look, it makes it looks like stuff's moving in real life.
I also had the sensation of
See?
being unable to move
That's
from
insane,
the spot.
unable to move from the
Nevertheless,
spot?
my
Oh, no.
assistant later told me that we had traveled very rapidly.
Stretching out on the couch back home doesn't help much either.
My surroundings had now transformed themselves in more terrifying ways. Everything in the room spun around, and familiar objects and pieces of furniture assumed grotesque, threatening forms. They were in constant motion, animated as if driven by an inner restlessness. The
What?
lady next door, whom I scarcely recognized, got me
Okay.
milk. She was no longer Mrs. R, but appeared instead as a
What?
insidious witch wearing a colored mask.
Oh, that's
Albert Hofmann has just
freaky!
embarked on the world's
Nah!
first LSD trip. He has no idea what the
Chat,
substance does. He believed 250 micrograms to be prudently safe dose, but it turns out to be extraordinarily potent, and now he fears he may lose his mind. A few hours later, the effects slowly begin to soften. The trip becomes more pleasant. As he steps out into his garden after a spring rain, it feels as though he's seeing everything for the very first time.
What?
Everything glistened and sparkled in a fresh light.
From that day on, Hoffman is convinced that this tiny molecule holds enormous power, that it could someday be of great value to medicine and psychiatry. His discovery jumpstarts the entire field of psychedelic research. Hoffman inspires many other scientists to follow his lead, and in the 1950s, he becomes the first to isolate the psychoactive compound psilocybin from psychedelic mushrooms. That's another major milestone. But psychedelic research also
Damn.
turns its attention to DMT. Scientists discover more and more plants that contain the substance. To date, it has been found in at least 50 different plant species.
So you can find DMT in 50 plant species? Dude, that's insane. Wait, so it's in, like, plants too? That's nuts. Or not, I don't know.
DMT has also been found in mammals like
Wow.
rats and rabbits.
Real?
In the 1960s, a German researcher team even found traces of the substance in human blood.
What?
Shortly after, US Nobel Prize winning scientist Julius Axelrod provided evidence that DMT occurs naturally in the human brain. It's even considered endogenous, meaning our own bodies produce it naturally.
Huh.
There's a saying that says DMT is everywhere, and it is also found in the human body and in a lot of mammals' bodies as well.
Throughout the 1960s, scientists keep isolating DMT in humans, animals, and plants. And meanwhile, psychedelics are starting to seep into popular culture.
What is happening?
How often have you taken LSD?
Wait.
About 4 times.
Damn! What? Oh, no way! He just said 4 times. Chat, wait. So this is like what they did back in the day?
60s are the peak years of the hippie movement and psychedelics like LSD. The Cultural Revolution is fueled by activists, intellectuals, and artists alike. One of them is Terence McKenna. He is just studying at Berkeley. He's 18 years old and has already done his fair share of experiments with psychedelics like LSD. But what he is about to experience tonight will eclipse everything he has ever
Whoa,
felt.
what? No.
A
Oh
friend
my
has come
goodness.
to visit and brought this white crystalline powder. He claims it was stolen from a US Army chemical research facility.
It.
It's DMT.
Whoa, it was stolen, did he say? Stolen? Who's gonna... How do you steal it?
Tea. And for the first time in his life, young Terrence McKenna is about to smoke it.
Wait,
I had this hallucination of tumbling forward into these fractal geometric shapes made
what
of light,
in
and
the
then I
hell is happening
found
right now?
myself in the equivalent of the Pope's private chapel. And there were insect elf machines proffering strange little tablets with strange writing on them. These self-transforming machine elf creatures were speaking in a colored language which condensed
the
into rotating
fuck?
machines that were like Fabergé eggs. All this stuff was so weird and so alien and so un-Englishable that it was a complete shock. I mean, the literal turning inside out of my intellectual universe. It's like being struck by
I'm
a
literally
magnetic
I'm blown away of
The experience completely changes
what
McKenna's
I'm
view of
learning
life
right
and
now, chat.
reality. He becomes convinced that there is another secret world
What the
that he
fuck?
normally can't see or access.
Chat.
He drops out of university to chase this mystery.
He drops out of...
He
Hold on.
travels to Nepal to meet Tibetan shamans. He works as a professional butterfly collector in Indonesia.
What?
And he ventures deep into the Colombian jungle with his brother and 3 friends. McKenna's description of the so-called machine elves becomes a cultural reference.
Machine
Countless DMT
elves.
users later report encountering
Whoa,
mystical
are
and
machine elves real, chat? Should we look at... What are machine elves, chat? Here, we're gonna see. Google it. What are machine elves? What even does it mean? Machine elves are hallucinatory entities common reported in individuals under the influence... Oh, so, chat, so it's like a hallucinatory entities when you take the DMT, chat. That's what, that's what machine... Wait, that's what the machine elves... that's what their meaning is, I guess. Damn, so... That's
entities
insane.
that closely match what he described.
What the fuck?
He dies in 2000, leaving behind an extensive audio archive with over 500 hours of theories on psychedelics and spirituality.
Wow, 500 hours. Imagine him spending 500 hours on psychedelics, chat, and just this dude spent 500 hours on experimenting and literally just he's just testing on himself, you know? That's insane. Or traveling the world is 500. That's insane. 500 theories.
Synthetic ayahuasca, pharmawaska. Do people realize this is the same thing as has been taken for thousands of years down there? Do they realize its role in shamanic healing?
By the late 1960s, authorities began cracking down on the widespread drug use in the U.S.
Well, you know, I mean, if I was to say where I got it from, you know, it's illegal and everything. It's silly to say that.
In 1966, California and Nevada
That's
become the first states to
nuts.
outlaw the production, sale, and possession of LSD.
What?
2 years later, the drug is banned across the entire country.
America's public enemy number 1 is drug abuse.
America's war on drugs soon extends to much of the rest of the world. In 1971, the United Nations adopts the Convention on Psychotropic Substances.
I didn't even know what that word
Many
said.
countries outlaw psychedelic substances and sharply restrict their use,
What?
including DMT.
Oh,
From that point on,
shit.
only a handful of approved scientific institutions are allowed to continue their research on
Wow,
them,
look at all
and even
that.
they have to adhere to extremely strict regulations.
Yeah.
For decades, DMT research effectively grinds to a halt.
The whole class of compounds got pulled off the clinical bench, and no research has gone on for 40 years.
One of the tragedies to me is that the clinical research on these substances pretty much stopped around 1970.
Damn. Chapter 3. Subject 34 ready for takeoff. So they used this subject 34 to test the DMT on, or I don't know.
Dr. Rick Strassman is a psychiatrist.
Psychiatrist.
He's set on bringing
wow.
psychedelic research back to life. His
What?
study is the first attempt to observe the effects of psychedelic substances in humans in the US in over 20 years. He wants to know what DMT does to our mind and body. The participants are numbered.
Didn't it?
Sarah is
what?
subject 34. She's in her early 40s and lives with her second husband. She has 3 children and works as a freelance writer. She has told the researchers that an angel once visited her when she had a high fever as a child,
Wait.
and that every now and then she communicates with spirit guides for advice and support. She also suffers from depression. In her 20s, she overdosed on tranquilizers and was hospitalized for 2 weeks following the suicide attempt. Today, she wants to
Wow.
find out whether DMT can help her gain a deeper understanding of herself and a relationship to the universe. The experiment is set to
No.
begin in just a few seconds.
Just a few
The
seconds?
onset of DMT's effects largely depend on how you consume it.
Yeah.
Most recreational users smoke DMT using a glass pipe. This makes the effects kick in extremely fast, usually in under 1 minute. The peak experience tends to last only a couple of minutes before wearing off. The smoke tastes unpleasant and can trigger coughing fits. Another substance closely related to N and DMT is called 5-MeO DMT.
What?
This YouTuber smoked it for one of his videos.
What?
Others try to consume it like this. 5-MeO
Why
DMT
would
occurs
he do
naturally
that,
in
chat?
secretions of the Colorado River toad.
That is
A common
so dumb.
misconception is that licking
Oh
the toad
my
will get you
gosh! You take it just because. Oh no! Why did he take that, chat? For clicks? What was the plan there? You should never do that. A
It
frog?
won't, and it can be extremely toxic. Most research today focuses on synthetic 5-MeO DMT. It also kicks in very fast and strong, but tends to produce far fewer visual hallucinations than N and DMT. DMT can also be snorted. In that case, the effects take a few minutes to kick in, but the trip also lasts a bit longer.
45
Ayahuasca
minutes
usually
long?
contains the highest dose of DMT. The effects begin after around 45 minutes and can last several hours.
Damn!
But the brew is tough on the stomach. Many people have to throw up during the trip. Two things are paramount for a pleasant DMT experience.
So chat, you can take it. That's insane in all of these categories right here. And it lasts. So if you take that, if it can last several hours, depending on which way you take the DMT.
Set and
Wow.
setting, the right mix of emotional stability and soothing surroundings. Experts recommend a calm environment where users feel safe and are able to lie down comfortably.
Oh.
Mixing substances can be extremely dangerous. Some users avoid alcohol, masturbation, and watching the news before attending an
What the
ayahuasca retreat. But not even the best preparation can guarantee DMT won't produce what many call a bad trip. Some users online describe experiences that leave them shaken for days, with flashbacks to vivid hallucinations of falling or flying through tunnels, and encounters
What?
with frightening beings.
Yeah.
Psychedelics can also worsen existing mental health issues. People who suffer from psychotic disorders or are mentally unstable should not take them.
What in the
In general,
hell?
DMT should never be used without professional guidance.
Dude, this is scary shit. Like, how did you make this in the 19 like way back then, chat? You know, that was in the 1800s when this came. Like, when did this get invented? Actually, this should never have been invented. That's
Sarah's
insane.
experience will be guided by Dr. Strassman.
Wow.
In clinical settings like this one, DMT is administered via IV injection. It hits almost instantly.
So he's using the injection one on the subject 34, chat. So
Sarah
okay.
has previously been given a low introductory dose to see how her body reacts to the substance. Recreational users are advised to start with similar test doses. Sarah's low dose experience has been pleasant and relaxing. Now she's about to receive 5 full doses. She will go
What? You're gonna give her 5 full doses of that?
on 5 consecutive trips. After each one, Strassman will let her come down to check in with her. She's all set. Sarah can feel the
Chat,
cool
that's
touch-
insane. So this doctor's giving her 0.5, the first one, and then he's giving her 4 more of it. 4 more, like, 4 more of it. That's insane. But, like, chat, how does it... That's
Mr.
insane.
Strassman's hand.
Because,
Mrs.
like, what is that gonna do to the like, her in general, you know? Because, like, I don't even know, chat. Is it gonna be like the other dude where he was like seeing the machine elves, or like was it just like the other?
To counter
I don't know.
heartbeats.
I got to 3 beats.
3 beats.
Then there was a
What?
sound. Like a hum that turned into a whoosh.
What?
And then I was blasted out of my body at such speed, with such force, as if it were the speed of light. The colors were
Oh,
aggressive,
this seems
terrifying. I felt as if they would
This
consume
seems
me.
so horrible, chat. Oh my, what is my? Oh my goodness, bruh. This is insane. Look they're literally like hallucinating into like a tunnel or whatever, like this.
As if I were on a warp speed conveyor belt heading
Like,
straight into the
It can't be like this is insane. Like you're literally just look at it never ends. It looks like it never ends, chat. That like this tunnel thingy. This is terrible, dude. Like it never ends. Look at it just goes and goes. Like this
psychedelic buzzsaw.
Look how fast you're going. You're
I
going
was
like...
terrified. I felt abandoned. I'm completely and totally lost. I have never been so alone. I was scared, but I kept telling myself, relax, surrender, embrace. It was all flashing and whirling lights. I was rather disappointed. Here I'm expecting this profound spiritual experience, and I get Las Vegas.
What is that?
But then, before I had much time to be disappointed, I flew on and saw clowns.
What the fuck is that? Clowns?
Like toys.
We're seeing
or
clowns now?
animated clowns. I had the overwhelming urge to laugh.
No.
I was kind of self-conscious about it at first. but I
Chat,
couldn't
no.
contain myself, and I laughed out loud watching those clowns.
What the fuck?
Suddenly,
What
a
is that?
pulsating entity appeared in the patterns.
Machine elf.
It sounds weird to describe it as Tinkerbell-like.
Tinker. Oh,
It
okay,
was
that's
trying
fair.
to coax me to go with it.
Like a
At first, I
fairy.
was reluctant.
Chat.
But I did
It's
want
like
to
a
go
fairy.
with it.
Yo,
But
Zayla
the
May, what's up?
was
What's up? What's
starting
up?
to wear off, and I wasn't high enough to follow it. I told it I can't go with you now. See, they want me back.
Fuck.
It didn't seem to be a
Chat, does it listen to your mind? Does this like the not just like a, I don't know, like a, this is fairies or like not a fairy, but not even a fairy, but like just the machine elves, chat. Like, can they read your mind when you take the DMT or whatever like substance she took? Because like, how come she's not like, chat? She's not like, she's telling it to like, I'm not gonna follow you. Can it read her mind? Like, I don't know. Or can it not? Is it just her?
fact
You know?
followed me back until I sensed it had reached its boundary. I felt like it was saying goodbye.
Sarah needs a short break. The start of her trip has been especially intense. That's something Timmerman hears from many of his own participants.
People can feel, especially at the beginning of the experience, that they're being launched from a rocket, as if they're like going into outer
Yeah,
space and they're in a rocket.
this lady was moving at like 70 miles an hour through that thing, chat. This sounds like an audiobook. It's kind of like one. It's pretty interesting. It's the strangest drug I ever studied. It's really interesting
Strong
and
feeling of
insane.
energy and vibrations in their body. They are interacting with beings, spirits, entities, jesters, clowns, a range of different ways in which people see these beings that interact with the participants, that they engage with them, invite them to do something, to communicate, and so forth and so on.
Encounters with such beings seem to be a common experience in many DMT trips. For one of his
Whoa,
studies,
what?
Timmerman analyzed nearly 4,000 DMT experiences posted on Reddit. Almost half mentioned similar entity encounters. In a 2021 field study with 36 participants, almost everyone reported an encounter with some sort of sentient being. But how do these
What?
encounters actually unfold?
Yeah,
That's what
how do
Baltimore's
they
Johns
unfold?
Hopkins University asked
Like,
over 2,000
how does that happen? How do they appear there? Like, how do they read your mind? Like, if you, like, because that lady said, I'm not going to follow you. What? What do you mean? Chat, I think it, like, if it's spiritual, I don't
500
know,
DMT
man.
users in an online survey.
It's
The
insane.
first question was about the primary senses involved in the encounter. Most participants reported seeing them, and more than half described hearing them. About a third said they could touch them, while some could even smell or taste them. A whopping 85% described their encounter as extrasensory or telepathic. The most common descriptive labels for the entities were beings, guides, spirits, aliens, and helpers. Less common labels were clowns, demons, gnomes, monsters, or devils.
What?
As to the emotions...
Whoa, hold on. We need to stop. Wait, so this is the percentage of what you see doing this, chat. What? Aliens? So beings is 60%, guides, spirits 39. That's insane. Helpers? What is angels, elves, demons is 6%. Gnomes? How do you see gnomes?
involved. Most participants
Devils, that's
reported feelings
scary.
of love, trust, and joy. Only
Whoa.
a minority experienced fear. 11%
Damn.
believed they had encountered religious figures, meaning some people think they saw God in these beings.
Whoa.
This
Huh.
is what some of the research has found, and some people have reported that. And it is interesting because, in a way, God is a personification of these spiritual or mystical-like qualities according to certain religions, and it seems that DMT stimulates those sort of experiences.
DMT appears to have a significant impact on people's religious beliefs and their sense of spirituality. This study surveyed users who reported so-called God encounter experiences during psychedelic trips. 25% described them as atheists before their trip, meaning they didn't believe in God. Afterwards, their number dropped to just 7%. Among ayahuasca users, atheist identification declined from 12 to 3%.
What?
Sarah, too, is deeply moved by these encounters.
Wait,
She's about
so is she seeing, like, I think she was seeing the machine elves, right?
receive her
It
final
wasn't,
injection.
or beans or something? I don't know.
I went directly into deep space.
Yeah, see?
They knew I was
Those are
coming
the
back.
elves, the machine
They told
elves.
me there were many things they could share with us when we learn how to make more extended contact.
What the fuck?
Again, they wanted something.
So chat, they actually speak to you. What? So they actually speak to you, but like you're hallucinating. So when you're hallucinating, they're like, I don't even know. This like so they're speaking to you in your mind, not like physically like how I am, but like through your mind, right? That's what it sounds
not
like.
Just physical information. They were interested in emotions and feelings. I told them, we have something we can give you. Spirituality. I guess what I really meant was love. I
Okay.
tried to figure out how to do this. I felt a tremendous energy.
What are you?
Brilliant pink light with white edges, building on my left side. I knew it was spiritual energy and love. They were on my right. So I reached out my hands across the universe and prepared to be a bridge. I let this energy pass through me to them. I said something like, see?
So it's
There, I did it for
whoa.
you. You have it.
This is
They were
the
grateful.
3D animation in this video is so cool, dude. This is the coolest video ever. Like the animations, however, like how they were like that. It must have took a while to get those animations like perfect, you know?
I was coming down off the DMT, losing altitude.
What? Losing altitude? What does that mean?
Sarah didn't expect to become what she
Whoa.
called an earthly spiritual emissary during her trip.
That's
She doesn't feel comfortable with that role, but has done her best to live up to it. Now it's the next participant's turn. Number 35.
Wait, wasn't that her?
Over the course of 5 years,
Or, wait.
Strassman observes
Oh no,
hundreds
she
of
was
these
34.
trips.
My fault.
He administers about 400 doses of DMT to 60 volunteers. He eventually calls
What?
DMT the spirit molecule, because of the
Spirit
spiritual
molecule.
and metaphysical experiences it appears to induce. Strassman's work in the 1990s was groundbreaking research, but it also raised more questions than it could answer. Since then, many neuroscientists have picked up where he left off. So what's actually happening inside our brain when we take DMT?
Yeah. Chapter 4. The brain on
Modern
DMT.
neuroscience suggests that our brain has a hierarchical
Lock in!
modular organization.
Lock in, chat!
Modular means that certain nerve
Alright.
cells work together in different types of clusters or brain
What's happening
networks,
with this brain?
specialized in
Whoa, whoa,
specific
what?
functions.
Wait, what that's? I can't. Okay.
There appears to only be a limited amount of communication between these networks. Hierarchical means that higher order areas like the prefrontal cortex collect signals from
Hierarchical? Did I
different
even
areas
say
across
that
the
right?
brain
I don't even
to
know.
coordinate appropriate responses.
Hierarchical.
But that entire organization seems to pretty much collapse.
Big
when our
words,
brain is
chat.
on DMT. The key players here are these special serotonin receptors. They determine how sensitive neurons react to incoming signals. That in turn impacts how information is transmitted and processed within and across brain regions. When DMT binds to these receptors, the brain's usual top-down control mechanisms become less effective. It's like the neurochemical reins come off. One of the experts we talked to thinks DMT makes the brain become more democratic. Another calls it anarchy. Either way, the brain suddenly enters a state in which far more areas communicate with each other than usual.
What?
Scientists call this global hyperconnectivity. It's completely different from how the brain normally.
Global. I don't even hyperconnectivity. Global. I can't even say that word. Chat. There are some big words in this video. Wow.
Operates. But how does this explain these extremely vivid hallucinations? Why do some users feel as if they're entering an entirely different reality? One explanation is that the brain sort of disconnects from external information. In this paper, Chris Timmerman proposes that DMT disrupts the brain's normal way of processing sensory input. The technical term is functional deafferentation.
It's a state of disconnected consciousness. We're disconnected from the external environment individuals feel.
Instead, the brain shifts into a completely new state, a kind of internal simulation.
They report that they are in an immersive world of experience.
But where does this other world come from? One clue to unravel this mystery could be dreaming. All those weird things that happen in our dreams seem similar to what people describe on DMT.
They are disconnected from their immediate environments, and their own brains and the organism as a whole is reconstructing an alternative world of experiences.
Whoa, what in the world?
What happens during DMT experience?
It's happening right now, chat.
Timmerman and colleagues found that the strong
Dude, I don't
surges of
even
theta
know, like, what?
Waves in the brain correlate with the peak of a DMT trip.
Look at the waves in the brain.
The same patterns are found during REM sleep.
There's waves? 4 hertz to 7.5 hertz? Is that in our brain, chat? Like, do we...
He
what
writes
the
that a
hell?
DMT trip is like dreaming with your eyes open. Except that DMT trips are usually far more intense.
What is... Yeah, what is the egg? And then it's crazy, chat. Like, she thought she gave her energy to the elves. The machine elves, you know? Like, it like, made this, like, woman, like, hallucinate that it made her, like, give her... I don't know. Like, it gave her her love and affection to that, and then it made it, I don't know, like...
Normal dreams. Neuroscientist Andrew
It was like she was giving it to them. Like, she was accepting it, the presents, right? Or, like, just not the presents, but just...
theory about why that is.
I don't know.
In our dreams, the brain sort of rebuilds our real-life experiences, drawing on established patterns of information. But on DMT, those familiar templates
Wait,
come
dream in
undone.
DMT?
Everything becomes more open, chaotic, and unpredictable.
It's like you're seeing the world anew, like you've never seen it
So when you're dreaming, everything's together. Everything makes sense. You kind of remember your dreams. But when you're on DMT, it separates everything to make your mind go to more different pathways, to like darker pathways, or it's not even darker pathways, I think. It sounds like it's just, it makes your mind open up different doors that your mind doesn't ever go to, you know?
And unpredictable.
It's like you're seeing
it's like
the world anew.
Yeah, you're seeing a new world, and it's unpredictable of what's going to happen next.
Never seen
what
it
sounds
before.
like,
Your brain,
you know?
you haven't decided what you're seeing, and coupled with this increased sensitivity to sensory information, the world becomes transcendent. It becomes much more vivid.
Which brings us to one of the wildest DMT experiences of all, encountering spiritual entities or sentient beings. There are different theories about these types of encounters. One study examined how these two brain regions behave under the influence of DMT. These areas are essential for recognizing social cues and processing the emotional dynamics.
How do you
of
even
human
pronounce
interaction.
these words?
So when we have our normal experiences and we interact with our partners or co-workers, our sons and daughters, these same systems also interact with
Wait, hold on,
These two
chat.
brain regions behave
Chat,
under
can
the
we
influence of
see if we
DMT.
pronounce some of
These
these?
areas are essential for recognizing social cues and processing the emotional dynamics of
Okay, I'm gonna have a really hard. You know what? No, we're not gonna. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Orpichin. Oh my gosh. Orbit. Oh my chat. Orbit of frontal cortex. I don't even know. Oh my gosh, my spelling is cooked. But then most people could probably pronounce these. So hey,
human interaction.
I don't know.
So
I
when
just
we
can't
have
chat.
our normal experiences and we interact with our partners or co-workers, our sons and daughters, these same systems also start engaging in the brain.
In turn, these areas become active when we try to understand someone else's thoughts and feelings, or more specifically, when we try to distinguish their mental state from our own.
So right now we're working with a hypothesis based on what we found, that in essence what DMT does, it engages parts of what we call social cognition, the ways in which we build up our relationships in the world.
Social
In the hyperconnected
cognition?
DMT
Did he
brain,
say, chat?
these two
I don't know.
regions engage far more
Wow.
intensely with each other and with other areas.
Really?
So we believe
That's
that
wild, chat.
enhances or pronounce or
Wow.
enable the appearances of these beings or entities. It's almost as if we simulate those social relations.
Put simply, the brain massively ramps up its resources for processing social signals.
What?
And that could explain why so many DMT users encounter these entities or beings. Another key to understanding the substance could be just how similar DMT trips seem to feel to so-called near-death experiences. Such experiences can occur
Whoa.
during traffic accidents, suicide attempts, and cardiac arrests. Many report a sense of brightness, seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, losing track of time and space, or gaining insight into some ultimate truth.
Oh my god! So you're literally just... So you... Wait, no, you're hallucinating so bad, or
Seeing
it's...
the light can
It
occur
messes...
during travel.
Your mind is so open, chat, so their minds are
Time
so
and
open,
space.
chat, that they can see a light at the end of the tunnel.
Gaining insight into some ultimate truth.
The features that are
That's
similar
nuts.
to near-death
Or
experience.
literally just like, not even that, but just like unlocking those type of pathways to seeing all that, you know?
This is in the DMT experiences are that feeling that many people have, that they have reached a sort of boundary or a limit of where they can go in this alternate reality or universe.
Wow.
Timmerman thinks these near-death experiences could also be linked to global
And
hyperconnectivity.
so even if you take it, it could possibly even like, you could possibly like pass away doing that, you know? Because like it like he explained, it can have those effects if you do, like, it can have those effects, right? To make you pass away. If like, cause like, if he says it slows down the heart rate and all that, and like all that, come on, that's not good.
That is such a big transformation of the mind, such a big transformation.
Your brain, yeah, your brain is just like transforming, and like, imagine like, what is all of this? And it's not used to like all this crazy shit it's thinking or seeing, chat, right? So you're like, so it's just not used to it. It's used to like a dream, right? Where a dream's put together. There's no like, it's not spread apart. You know what, you don't know, like, you don't know what's gonna happen, right? It's just like different on this, on like when they're like testing the DMT on people.
It's likely that the brain is sending a signal that it's dying. That
Yeah.
it is being transformed beyond recognition.
In other words, there's so much going on in the brain during a DMT trip that the brain blows all of its fuses.
What?
It basically thinks it's dying. And yet, there's one major difference between DMT trips and near-death experiences.
What the fuck?
DMT is more visual, and near-death experiences are more disembodied.
Then again,
Wow.
near-death experiences are also far from being fully
That's
understood.
Nice.
This makes it even harder to draw reliable scientific conclusions with regard to DMT.
So when you take DMT, your mind is it unlocks so many paths and dark things, and it does so much to your mind that it blows all the fuses, like he said, in your brain, that you could possibly like die doing it.
Back in the 90s, Rick Strassman proposed a bold hypothesis that the spirit molecule, DMT, might be released during crucial life events like birth, death, or profound mystical experiences. Today, there is strong evidence suggesting that DMT is produced naturally in mammalian brains. Scientists are still investigating why that is. Early findings suggest that DMT release in the brain correlates with a massive surge of stress hormones. One experiment with lab rats showed a significant increase in DMT levels following cardiac arrest.
Wow, cardiac
Another
arrest.
study suggests that
That's
releasing
insane.
DMT in the brain could also have a protective function. The compound appears to activate a receptor that helps brain cells survive oxygen deprivation and oxidative stress. So DMT might as well be a kind of built-in emergency medication for life-threatening situations. And a very recent study suggests that DMT levels in our brain might be much higher than previously assumed.
Chat, that was an insane... that was an insane react. Dude, that was so cool. Chat, we learned about a lot there. That was insane. I've never knew any of that existed. Like, DMT on the brain of, like, it hallucinating so bad it blows the fuses. You see things. You see... chat, that just shows how crazy DMT is. And, like, it's just shows how scary this... Like, how bad all the hallucinations or substances or drugs can be, you know?